After failure at Sebring, John Wyer's team look for success at Brands Hatch. British weather dampens the track, but not spirits, and Pedro Rodriguez sums up their advantages.
It is good to be in a golf team because we have a good cars and a good management. And the cars always will be well prepared for the race. And during the race, the pits will be always ready and fast and efficient, so we don't lose much time.
Brands Hatch was very successful and went a long way to restoring our morale after Sebring. I think it will chiefly be remembered for the appalling weather and for Rodriguez's virtuoso performance. The circumstances were a bit unusual because there was a very bad shunt on the first lap and the yellow flag was out for several laps for no passing. And Pedro didn't see the yellow flag because of the rain, and he passed several cars. And then he was black flagged and brought in. When he went out again, he ran away and hid from the entire field. He outdrove even Sifford. I think that on that day, in those conditions, he was completely unbeatable. It was a personal triumph.
At Brands Hatch, before the black flag, I was running second. After, I was 12. So I had to drive very hard, as if the track were dry. I went through the field and took the lead, and I lost it when we changed drivers. I took it back again and went on to win by 5 laps.
Racing drivers are inevitably strongly individual personalities. If they were the sort of people who did what they were told from 9 to 5, they wouldn't be racing drivers, or they wouldn't be any good. They are the highest expense of one of the most difficult and dangerous arts in the world. And it's no good expecting them to behave like members of the school's second 11. It is our business to make use of their abilities and not fight against them. We expect them to be competitive, and we have no time for good losers.
I like fast cars. I like the competition. You must like all that is involved in motor racing because it is a hard sport. When I'm driving, I must pass all cars. Ferrari or Porsche of my own team, it's all the same. I must pass, even if the chief of the team is not always happy.
I was motorcycle champion of Mexico before I was 15, and I started racing cars when I was 15. And I was again champion of Mexico at 17, and not until I was 17 I started racing international.
Seppi Sifford is a natural charger. His one idea of motor racing is to get in front and stay there. If there's a car in front, Seppi has to pass it if he can. This really causes us no problem because it's desirable to have one driver of this type in the team, and in the shorter races it may be essential. In the longer races he may sometimes drive harder than is strictly necessary, but he doesn't ask more from the car than it should be able to stand.
It is good to be part of a strong team. It makes you drive faster still.
Pedro Rodriguez is by preference a more calculating type of driver. He likes to sit back in the early stages and watch the race develop before he stages his attack, which he does with an exquisite sense of timing. He has great mechanical sympathy and he's very kind to the car, what I suppose horsey people call good hands. He's also capable of changing roles, either when roused, as at Brands Hatch or Watkins Glen, or when necessary, as at Monza. He's a complete professional.
I like to have strong drivers in my team and race against strong drivers like X, Mario Andretti, and Baccarella, because they make me go faster still.
Gulf Porsches first and second, 2 other Porsches third and fourth. 9 championship points for Porsche, only 2 for Ferrari.